Thanks for joining us. Brooke grew up in Reading, and she's got lots of questions about public safety, so I invited her to come interview me about lots of things our city has questions about.
Yes, absolutely. So, like she said, I've grown up in Reading. I've been here for my whole life, 28 years. And the topic on everybody's mind is public safety.
Absolutely.
I remember growing up here and my mom teaching me and my two older sisters how to ride our bikes on the river trail.
Yes.
And not a thought in her mind. We'd just throw our bikes in the car, we'd go, we'd have a great time. But I could not say I would feel the same today, taking my three children to the river trail by myself. It just does not feel safe anymore. Yeah. So the question is, why are we seeing these problems?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I know it is frustrating for many citizens. My husband and I have lived here since 1989. We had two little baby boys when we moved here, and it has changed. I didn't have to used to think about where I parked, thinking about my personal safety, and I could shop anywhere in town. I can't necessarily say that today. Yeah. I've definitely changed security at my home as well. And the reason for this, I think, is a perfect storm that's been created by a combination of things. It's not just one thing. It's numerous things together that have created this very complex situation that we face. So we have, I'm going to just first mention AB 109. AB 109 has been huge. That happened in 2012. And what happened with that is we got all these prisoners back that we had sent to state prison. Our court system had sentenced them and they went off to state prison. And the state decided to empty out their jails and they sent those people back to us.
Wow.
But they didn't send enough money for probation or restorative solutions for these people. They didn't provide funding for jail space. So we have this small county jail. We have inadequate jail bed space for our population. So that's huge. You have a difficult economy. That's been the case for quite some time. Rather high rates of poverty in our community. We have heroin that's become quite cheap and available, an opioid epidemic that's driving crime as well. And then we have Props 47 and 57 also implemented by our state that have changed felonies to misdemeanors. So we've lost the ability to put people in jail. What used to be a felony now becomes a misdemeanor. And because our jail bed space is full, then people don't suffer the consequences. So that's a huge issue. What's also driving this, I mentioned the jail space, it's huge. We have 60 arrests every day, if you can think about that. 60 people get arrested every day in Reading.
Oh my goodness.
And so you think, okay, well, we'll send those people to jail, but there's 5 jail beds on average available every day. So 60 people arrested, you only have 5 spots. So you have to decide of those, who's the most dangerous, the people in jail, who here gets those jail bed space, and that's decided by the sheriff. That would be the county system. So that's a huge issue.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot of frustration in the community with what's the city doing? You know, what are the city leaders doing to make our city safe again? So that's my question to you is, what are we doing right now?
Right. And so I think it's important to understand who does what. Lots of people are angry. They're a bit frustrated with the city city leadership. We're more visible, I think, than sometimes the county leadership is, and so people can get access to us a little bit easier. And we haven't done a good job of communicating what we're doing, and because of that, people don't understand what's happening. And so we're in the process of changing that. I think it's important to understand the role of city government as well. Often what people are really frustrated with, the lack of consequences, is more of a county issue. The city is responsible for implementing ordinances, which we've been doing, and we're going to talk about that more in another vlog, but we're also responsible for policing and code enforcement. So we have the police officers. We can go out to a crime, we can arrest people, but from there it gets transferred over to the county. And so the county is responsible for social services, mental health services, drug treatment services. They're also responsible for the court system and the jail system, and that's where much of the problem lies, is within the county.
Okay, wow. Yeah. So one of the issues you talked about was jail space. I mean, I had no idea that we made that many arrests and we have that little space to put them. So, you know, why are we not building more jail space? That would be my question.
Yeah, and I would love to build a jail, and I actually love to see our county have the funds to actually operate the jail. The county can build a jail. They could get grant funding to build it. It's the operational costs that are prohibitive. The reason the city can't do that is 2 reasons. First of all, it's illegal. The state only allows counties to operate jails, and secondly, it's cost prohibitive. You can build a jail, you can get grant funding to build a jail, but the operational costs are incredible. There's so many rules and regulations about the rights of prisoners.
Oh, wow.
And so there's just not enough funding. There's not a funding stream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked a little bit about what the county is doing, what we can and can't do as city, right? So what is the city doing?
So what is the city doing?
Now?
Yeah. So the city is, I think we're going to be continuing to work on strategies on how we can target those high risk offenders, those who are doing the most crime. So we can be a little bit more strategic in our arrests. We're continuing to look at that. RPD is working on adjusting their patrol routes and their schedules.
Okay.
There's increased bike patrols. You may see that more in downtown in the River Trail. There's also increasing video surveillance that's happening. There's some changes in code enforcement and illegal encampments that I think will be good. I would ask too that I would like to see more environmental design. I'd like to see more citizens and businesses look at how they can reduce crime through environmental design. The Chamber of Commerce just did a video live event on Facebook. You can look at that and get some great ideas for your business or your home. And I think we need to continue to look at alternative solutions for policing. So one thing about this is that we want the community to get more involved. And so we are certainly open. We had a recent public workshop on public safety, which you can view on the city website as well.
Excellent.
I want to end by saying that these are complicated issues and they're forcing us to look at public safety in a different way. And that's not necessarily bad. I actually think we have an opportunity before us to do something better than what we had before.
That's so good.
Thanks.
Well, if you're out there and you're like me and you have questions and you want to know what is happening with public safety or any questions with the city, really, just reach out to Julie. You can email her. You can go to her website, juliewinter.com. Her Facebook page is out there too. Please feel free to share your questions and your ideas. Maybe you have some solutions. That's always welcome too.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining me today. In my next vlog, I will talk about what steps the city has taken to increase public safety in the city, so stay tuned.